I didn't want to have my camera on it, but it was facing the other way. There's my feet up all reclined.
Welcome to SLCC. Welcome, everyone. It's nice to see these beautiful faces. Welcome. This year's academic kickoff will be off the chain. While this is certainly not our traditional way of celebrating our successes and welcoming the start of a new academic year, albeit unprecedented circumstances, I am both excited, I am so pumped about today's engagement with faculty and staff, while also celebrating the past academic year and charting our course for the upcoming year. But before I get started, let me remind everyone what makes today and every day special at SLCC. So hold on for a second. Slide. SLCC, SLCC, SLCC. Slide into fall. SLCC, SLCC. Slide into fall. SLCC, SLCC. This how we do it. Slide. Okay, now this is Cajun country. We are all about family, futures, fun, and food. That's how we do it. I've been here for 5 years and you guys have shown me how to do it. So, and while we as a college, as a state, as a nation are experiencing challenges due to the coronavirus pandemic, make no mistake about it, that as a college family, we are continuing to persevere. We're here to serve students, serve our communities, and achieve academic excellence. With that being said, allow me the opportunity to share with you the current state of the college under 4 key areas. First, we've had some leadership changes. Since 2012, South Louisiana Community College has witnessed significant growth, development, transformation under the outstanding leadership of Dr. Natalie Harder. As a result of her departure and administrative retirements and some unexpected passings of academic personnel as well, our administrative landscape continues to thrive and is currently being supported with a few interim appointments. So as you already know, we have Dr. Darcy Beck, who's serving as the interim vice chancellor for academic and student services. We have Dr. Stacia McDill, who's serving as the interim dean of liberal arts and humanities. And of course, we have Dr. Janine Thomas, who is serving as the interim dean of nursing and allied health. As many of you read recently in the LCTCS news bulletin and email, the LCTCS Board of Supervisors and our president, Dr. Monty Sullivan, they recently announced the invitation of a national search to identify and select the next chancellor of SLCC to lead this great institution. And in the meantime, we have some things that we still have to do. And so I'm gonna walk you through some of the successes of our current state. In terms of enrollment, many thanks to the teams of academic affairs, student affairs, marketing communication, and the faculty senate, of course, for their tireless efforts to support new and continuing students to start and complete their educational journeys under very unique and real-time processes and procedures. And as of today, we are trending in a lot of positive directions relative to our unduplicated continuing new students head counts. Thanks to Debbie Tapchuri and campus directors and academic folks, we are thriving with semester credit hours, albeit our circumstances, we have successfully transitioned instructional delivery to online, hybrid, high sync formats, thanks to the leadership of our academic deans, our department chairs, our program coordinators, Office of Academic Affairs, and of course, the Office of Distance Education, who have just been phenomenal. In the context of fall planning, you may recall in July, around July 17th, I sent an email out where I provided an update regarding our efforts to develop and complete a fall reopening plan. And that plan basically forged efforts leading into Monday's start of classes. And since that time, our executive leadership, the COVID task force, we were able to finalize and receive both a review and approval by the LCTCS leadership regarding the SLCC reopening plan, which also included and covered our faculty guidebook. It covered our employee return to fall. We had a fall return town hall. Marketing communications have just been off the chain in terms of ensuring that our messaging, our websites, all of the floor markings, you name it, signage on the windows, signage on the walls have just been remarkable. And of course, the Office of Academic Affairs, the return to campus packets and to faculty and students as well. One of the pieces that I'm sure everyone has buzzed about has been the fiscal impact and sustainability pieces that focuses around national news and statewide news that many of us see in our news feeds and things that we see on the news as well. And the current economic and financial environment of the state, due to significant declines in revenue and high unemployment rates and job losses, it's all resulted in us having to reduce our budget by $1.2 million. Yes, we've had to reduce the SLCC budget by $1.24 million. Moreover, our reality is that the college may experience an additional $1.4 million reduction sometime during the mid-year. What that means for us is that considering the eliminations of the CARES Act funding stream that will more than likely end going into the fall semester, coupled with strained enrollment, most colleges and universities across the country are all strained with enrollment. We have to adapt and adopt a business model that allows us to be agile, stable, sustainable, until we reach full economic recovery, which is not anticipated to roughly around the fiscal 23 academic year. We have some preliminary budget options on the table for consideration, and I have no doubt whatsoever that we cannot make it through this challenging time, given the hard work that's already been done. When we talk about the year in review, obviously there is no way, absolutely no way we can appreciate the future without reminiscing about the past, particularly considering how we started the fall 2019 and spring 2020 semesters with such great energy and enthusiasm, only to be halted by a national pandemic on March 6th. I'm sure many of us will remember March 6th. Nevertheless, SLCC was still able to achieve several key and significant milestones during the 2019-20 academic year. In terms of the college's LA20 strategic plan and related scorecard metrics, SLCC has witnessed significant 5-year percentage point increases in a number of different categories. Many of you are familiar with our annual data summit that we present on an annual basis, and more details will come with that as we talk more about data. I'm not going to drown you guys today with data, but we have seen significant percentage point increases in unduplicated total student enrollment, fall to spring retention for entering students, unduplicated head count of students earning credentials, employee retention rates, employee engagement, and excitedly an increase in our foundational assets totaling $5.2 million effective June 30th. Interestingly enough, and as Lana Fontenot has sent several emails just boasting about it, the foundation did set a goal of $5 million and they exceeded it by $250,000. So kudos to the Office of Institutional Advancement and our foundation board members. Just totally incredible this past year. The Division of Academic Affairs leadership, which also included the deans, department chairs, program coordinators, they successfully developed a powerful first round academic blueprint. This document contains a review and assessment of academic programs, and they've been able to use 5-year data and trend characteristics to support a core of well-balanced quality programs and potentially emerging program fields. More information will be forthcoming over the next few months as this initiative aligns perfectly to chart the college's future direction. In response to the college's shift to educational access and instructional delivery, to date, the Office of Distance Education and the Center of Professional Development, they've jointly developed and conducted more than 14 faculty training sessions since July 6th, with several ongoing sessions throughout the fall. The trainings included hybrid design and delivery, Canvas, WebEx, and of course, Quality Matters. So kudos to the fantastic faculty for capitalizing on this professional development opportunity to better teach and serve our students. In the area of ad hoc scheduling software, SLCC has experienced some fascinating technological implementations over the past year that has forged new vision and efficiency for the college. So much so that with the new ad hoc scheduling software, the college recently finished implementing the room software for the Lafayette campus, and will soon launch in September the new room reservation system. The academic deans and department chairs, they were able to use and still are able to use the real-time monitoring of enrollment to add classes, combine sections, and to shift instructional formats. At one point, we were using Excel sheets and emails to do that. So ad hoc scheduling software platform has allowed us to achieve some great dynamics this year. And lastly, ad hoc provides an academic planner, which is now available so that department chairs can also track how many students need a course to progress towards their degree and also graduate. With respect to DegreeWorks, SLCC will go completely live with our DegreeWorks. I can see Connie Chopin just smiling left and right, Rebecca Cernich, Courtney Schoolmaster, just that whole team. And we're gonna go fully live college-wide on August the 20th of this fall. Our DegreeWorks website is complete with a guidebook, have video tutorials, and lots more. So I'm going to encourage everyone to view the registrar's webpage for more details. The college also held several drive-through celebrations, and God knows we were in the heat, but we enjoyed it tremendously in honor of pinning our nursing students, as well as recognizing the official graduation, actually, of all of our spring graduates. This was a very exciting time for faculty and staff, as we really found a very creative way to celebrate our graduates and their families. Kudos to our academic leadership and distance education, our Office of Academic Affairs, our Office of the Registrar, for the development and execution of our online, our hybrid, our high-sync instructional delivery formats. To date, we have roughly about 1,121 courses offered for fall. This creative approach has allowed SLCC to be extremely flexible, to create a safe and healthy environment for our faculty and students to teach and learn during the pandemic. In an effort to eliminate paper verification, documentation, and become a more automated entity, the Office of Financial Aid, I'm smiling right now because I could see Tiffany Williams smiling to ear, because they were able to develop and secure a banner document management upload process through the OneDrive, which enables all of our students to securely upload financial aid requirements via their cell phone, their iPad, their laptop, or even their computer. As of May 20th, over 3,200 documents have been uploaded and processed using this feature. During financial aid peak processing time, that window has been reduced from 2 to 4 weeks down to 2 to 3 days. That is absolutely phenomenal. The OneDrive process has also helped to expand partnership with admissions and student engagement for VA, for our satisfactory academic progress appeals, and it also allows us to change demographic student information submissions that are oftentimes needed. The financial aid advisors have hosted over several training sessions for this particular process. And lastly, the financial aid staff have also created additional training materials and videos for students to use, which details a very quick and easy upload process. When we talk about default prevention, and I know many faculty members were involved in this process, this really has allowed us to satisfy compliance with the U.S. Department of Education and also to maintain our standing with Title IV. The SLCC Office of Financial Aid successfully launched this particular initiative, and as a result, students have received direct outreach counseling, and faculty and staff were able to complete a series of online financial literacy courses, and SLCC's cohort default rate, which is probably the most important piece, it drastically decreased from 8.84% down to 5.3%. And as a result, these efforts definitely put SLCC and our students in good standing in support of the student loan process. One of the biggest pieces that I really am excited about as we move into the fall semester is the kudos that needs to be given to the Retention and Completion Council. They developed and they finalized and recently presented to the executive team a first-rate, first-class comprehensive retention and completion plan for the next 3 years. This plan will drive SLCC strategic efforts to improve access, retention, graduation, and much more. And so you can expect a more formalized execution of this plan early fall. As a community college and as a college community of family, it is never, ever easy to accept and or process the loss of fellow colleagues, particularly when you've worked side by side with them for so many years, yet developing personal relationships along the way. This past year, we lost 3 outstanding employees who served the college very well. Mr. Troy Guillory, who was in our facilities area, Craig Strand, who was professor of economics, and of course, Dr. John Wright, who was our Dean of Liberal Arts and Humanities. The college will be forever grateful for their dedication and their contributions to SLCC, faculty, our staff, our students, and of course, our community. And so we plan to have a more formal dedication honoring our colleagues during the fall semester. So what that means as we go into our strategic priorities, what does our vision look like? So many of you have been asking, what is the strategic trajectory for SLCC based on the college's current state? Ongoing challenges with COVID and other miscellaneous types of uncertainties. Well, the future news for the SLCC family is our ability to leverage our existing work under our Everyday Excellence framework, which embraces the pillars of people, student success, community and service, and of course, sustainability. As a result of this conceptual framework, the executive leadership saw it fitting to develop and finalize both ambitious and realistic strategic priorities for fiscal year 2021. Given the myriad of challenges that SLCC will have to navigate over the next couple of months, the college will continue to look for opportunities, efficiencies, and optimization to support institutional stability and sustainability during this unprecedented time. To this end, let's look at the strategic priorities for student success. Under this particular priority, it is our intent to evaluate and optimize a lot of avenues for supporting student success. We've had conversations about emphasizing and expanding advising. Many of you know that we have a current search underway for a new director, but also looking at the further expansion of our instructional delivery, particularly now that we're using technology so robustly and have identified other ways to meet our students where they are from a learning perspective. Our intent is to further maximize that particular capacity. Also in the student aid and student assistance area, we're looking for very strategic ways to be able to expand our delivery and our service orientation in that regard. It's also our intent to align the communication pieces with market trends for existing priorities, programs, options, and other collateral that will bring academic and workforce plans together. Essentially, what I really want everybody to understand is that we are moving towards a one college model. Instead of us saying credit and non-credit, work ready you, we will be focusing on one college. We plan to provide continued access and training and support in our IT area. Obviously, you saw an email from me this morning asking for some of the cameras to be turned in. Why? Because we had a delay in our order. But more specifically, we will be looking for additional enhancement as we look to maximize the use of WebEx and other types of tutorials and platforms that will complement the whole learning experience here at the college. But also while we further look at how faculty are able to navigate and master the art of teaching certain courses online. In the area of people, our priorities will focus primarily on the engagement efforts that are already on the way that we've done over the past few years. More specifically though, obviously, given some of the tough times that we are experiencing both statewide and nationally, we're gonna focus on diversity, inclusion, we're gonna focus on equity, we're gonna focus on safety. And of course, during this time, it is very, very essential that we focus on wellness in the holistic sense. We plan to build out the SLCC One College identity, one college, several campuses. So you can expect some communication pieces from the Office of Marketing Communication and Executive Leadership moving forward. We plan to develop and deploy the return to work guidelines and protocols based on the SLCC's telecommute policy, and initiate a review of this policy. We've had a lot of feedback from faculty and staff, particularly as we have moved and transitioned to remote operations. But what we realize is that there are really some opportunities that we can take advantage of in the future, even post the pandemic. We will continue to focus on professional development for employees and leaders. We do not plan to take that off the board, particularly now that many of the national conferences and the national organizations have now also realized that it is pertinent to maintain this level of offering and delivery in terms of some of the organizations that we would normally spend a multitude of dollars attending, both flying to and from. And so we want to be able to make sure that folks have access to the current state of professional development opportunities. Community and service. It is our intent to build out an external relations plan. This particular plan will integrate all of our practices and procedures for monitoring and maintaining external relationships. I'm so excited about this because it will spell out and it will provide a blueprint and a map for how we continuously engage with our external partners, and to do it very timely and to do it very focused, and to make sure that we have wraparound relations, so much so that we're able to move the needle accordingly. We plan to enhance our Work Ready Youth program and our partnerships with community stakeholders. Like I said, we are one college. It's no longer credit and non-credit. It's credit, non-credit. It's Work Ready Youth, which forged the one college concept. There are so many initiatives that support that, and it's our goal to further enhance that particular program and our partnerships. We've already evaluated the future of WIOA and where it fits within SLCC. There was an RFP process that was recently initiated, and we submitted renewals for the WIOA program. And excitingly, yesterday, we received notifications that we did receive some grant renewals for some of the programs under the WIOA framework. It is definitely our priority to stay in alignment with our fundraising, our grants, our communication, and our marketing efforts, particularly as we leverage the academic blueprints and the corporate college strategic plans that have been revitalized. In the context of sustainability, and this is extremely, extremely important, our intent is to continue to review programs, and I say programs, I mean all programs, that positions the college to be very flexible in the context of market trends, and to also focus on what is best, what are some of the best practices, what are some of the best fits as we look at our campuses, as we look at our parishes, and we look at the environments that support those particular parishes as well. So it is our intent to be able to leverage that and to figure out what is the best fit for the next 5 to 10 years. We plan to continue using data consistently, the academic blueprints, environmental scans, retention and completion plans, our strategic enrollment management plans. There are so many things that we rolled out that now requires us to consistently and to accurately and intentionally use data to both assess outcomes and directions. And then lastly, it is extremely important that as we move forward in the 2021 academic year, that we create a very agile and a very efficient operating model to manage and to lead change. As I mentioned earlier in the opening, we've had leadership changes. We're having to deal with declining enrollments. We're having to deal with revenue loss for the state. We're having to deal with job losses, unemployment, you name it. And so it's going to be extremely, extremely important for us to maintain a very efficient operating model during this difficult time. Again, we have several options on the table that we definitely want to consider. And I think that we are probably more prepared than any other institution in our system. And so I'm extremely proud about that. So that being said, what that means at the end of the day is that our landscape still is in its right format. The landscape developed over the past few years has definitely positioned SLCC to navigate these uncharted waters. Yet at the same time, we get to maintain our college mission, and that is to serve students and to serve our community. Because of your hard work, your commitment, your passion, and your continued push for innovation and creativity, SLCC is ready. Hey, we're gonna slide into fall, SLCC. the SLCC. So speaking of innovation and creativity, I'm going to transition to Ms. Alicia Hewlin, who is our Executive Director of Human Resources and Strategic Engagement, who will now share more information about our Everyday Excellence focus for 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. June, and thank you to everyone who has joined us today. I know so many of us are excited for the next section of the program, which is our rewards and recognition segment. And it really is hard to believe that we're in our 4th year of the program. And honestly, to see how much it's grown over the last few years is amazing. I hear from so many people throughout the year that this is one of the programs that they enjoy attending the most. While I know the virtual option is not ideal, we just could not let this year go without celebrating. I will say, like the rest of our 2020, our reward and recognition process endured some small challenges with participation this year, but the steering committee was as flexible as possible. You will notice this year, not all awards may be awarded, and that was due to some areas having a very low number of submissions. And in all cases, in order for an award to be received, a submission must receive at least 50% of total score. We're also very excited today to be able to acknowledge our retirees and our years of service recipients as well. Before we move on to the slideshow, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge our steering committee members. Our voting members this year, Dr. Charles Miller, Dr. Darcy Becks, Dr. Catherine Pavey, Cheryl Hidalgo, Aaron Ward, Tanya Boldenball, Brittany Menard, Chad Cormier, Nancy Roy, Anthony Bayham, and Miss Courtney Schoolmaster. In addition, special thanks to our ad hoc steering committee members, Mr. Andre Perez, Vanessa Mouton, and Samantha Rushlow. For our team members acknowledged today, the Strategic Engagement Office will reach out to you when your token of appreciation is available for pickup, because we're also hoping to arrange photo opportunities in coordination with your pickup. So without further ado, I would really like to get the slide deck started so we can see who we're recognizing today. Thank you again, everyone. If everyone could just please hang tight, I know our IT experts are working on getting this started. Thank you.
all the nominees and winners. It's just been fabulous to have so many dynamic nominations, and to all the winners as well. Let's give everybody a round of applause. You know, this is always the fun time of the year because you get to recognize and you get to identify, you know, all of our friends and all of our colleagues here at the college who really go above and beyond, you know, during the academic year. And it's not to take any credit from anybody, you know, it's just really nice to be nominated and to be recognized during that particular year for outstanding achievements and contribution to the college. So again, congratulations to all the nominees and the winners. Within moments, you will be receiving a survey to let us know how you enjoyed the kickoff. And while, again, certainly this has not been our traditional way of doing convocation, I really wish, and I'm sure executive, I'm sure the department chairs and functional managers and all the faculty and staff, I'm sure we all wish we had our traditional way of being in a location in person for convocations. But I hope you really, really enjoyed it today. I want everybody to stay pumped over the weekend. Get some R&R in, and come Monday, we will be ready. Myself, I'm gonna have me a Jungle Juice daiquiri, and it is on and popping this weekend. I will be out and about on Monday, volunteering and helping to make a wonderful transition for our students. So again, congratulations to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the kickoff, and I look forward to seeing everybody throughout the week. Thank you very much.
Let me slide on into my weekend now.